Attempts to bar staff below level 3 clearance have proven unsuccessful, as guards assigned to watch the room quit their posts, saying, "You know he likes company," or shrugging when questioned.
Remember a little while back when we covered an SCP animation about the Plague Doctor? If you recall, there was an entity, another SCP, that was interviewing him, trying to figure out what the pestilence was. And it was SCP-343, and they nicknamed him God. Now, I was really intrigued because he seemed like a very interesting character, and I wanted to follow up on that. And today we're going to check him out through SCP Illustrated's description of him. So make sure to head on over to SCP Illustrated, guys. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you like reaction videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. Let's get into the reaction. SCP-343 God.
Description: SCP-343 is a male, seemingly raceless humanoid in appearance with apparent omnipotence. SCP-343 was discovered walking the streets of Prague and detained after a staff member witnessed him disappear from the streets and reappear on a rooftop.
Neat.
SCP-343 is detained willingly in his chamber, as containment has proved impossible.
So he's
Special
willing.
containment procedures. SCP-343 resides in a 6.1 by 6.1 meter room at Minimal Security Site 17.
Alright.
It should be brought any items it requests and visited by at least one staff member each day. Attempts to add further safety precautions or required clearances are unnecessary and impossible due to the nature of SCP-343.
Alright.
Addendum 343-1. SCP-343, colloquially nicknamed God by the staff here, looks like an older man, although his features are different to each observer.
Weird.
In my first talk with him, he claimed outright to be the creator of the universe. When I asked him to prove this, he laughed, walked through the wall of the chamber and returned seconds later with a hamburger in his hand. When I returned for a second visit, the previously bare cell had been furnished in upscale Old English style, complete with a roaring fireplace, and seemed many times larger than it did from the exterior.
So they gave him a nice room, right? And gives him pretty much whatever he wants, but he tends to just say, well, I'm gonna change it anyway. Now, is this a matter of perception? Because he looks different to everyone that perceives him. So, or this decoration and this hamburger and this miracle that he supposedly did, was that all an illusion or something that the onlookers perceived? Or is he actually be able to do things like this and create these changes in reality?
SCP-343 greatly enjoys speaking with people and seems to have a knowledge of all topics.
Okay.
Visiting with SCP-343 has become a daily event for many of the staff here, and all employees report feeling generally happier after each visit.
Nice.
Attempts to bar staff below level 3 clearance have proven unsuccessful, as guards assigned to watch the room quit their posts, saying, "You know he likes company," or shrugging when questioned.
So he just manipulates people's that are guarding him by saying that he's gonna let anybody in. He wants to talk to people regardless of their rank or their stature, which is kind of neat. And because he's the kind of guy that wants to associate like this and make people happier, it's gotta be pretty rewarding, right? Because I can tell you, as a social person, I love talking with people from all walks of life, especially when they have many different ideals than me or many of the same ideals. Because when someone has a lot of character traits that resemble your own, from the same area, likes the same food, likes the same music, loves the same activities, you get this bonding thing that happens, and it's like you're among family or somebody that is very familiar with you without actually having to get to know this person. It's easy to break the ice and have conversations with them. Then again, on the other half of the spectrum, somebody that is completely different than you can learn all this stuff about the way that they think and what they've experienced and how they come to know and live the way they do, you know? It's interesting to think about.
Since SCP-343 has thus far been harmless, all staff have been allowed access, and somehow they all have time to meet with him for as long as they need. For now, I leave this report open as further questioning of SCP-343 is ongoing.
Alright.
Dr. Beck. Addendum 343-2. In regards to document 343-1A, There are no relevant records available or seemingly in existence, and, similarly, all records of Dr. ever working with SCP-343 or Dr. Beck are missing and presumed non-existent.
Interesting.
All staff questioned about the document convey ignorance of document 343-1A and claim never to have met Dr. In a related matter, Senior Officer Dr. Beck has requested higher staff rotation to increase morale in worse-off sections.
Alright.
This is a very odd request and was the subject of further investigation. Other localised anomalies such as better health, greater job satisfaction, and lower fatalities in this section have led to the request being granted.
Huh.
The subject is now closed on the orders of 05. Addendum 343-3. Data recovered from routine check of Dr. Pepper's network drive. Document 343-1A.
As of the visitors of SCP-343 are to be questioned as to their intent and conversation. Questions pertaining to other SCPs are to be put forth by orders of Dr.
Document
Look at a picture.
343-1B.
Plague Doctor's up there.
Yes, apparently my orders have gone missing. This is the last straw, Dr. Beck. All my reports and requests to higher up have gone unnoticed. I will confront SCP-343 tomorrow. Signed, Dr.
Aha!
Level 5 classified encryption key 514132. Memetic kill agent in place. Archive document 343 sub 6. Document recovered from the late Dr. Samuel's computer.
Okay.
Titled 343 The Fake God.
I've no idea who that doctor was, but I think he was onto something. How can everyone else not see the truth of this? This thing isn't God. He didn't create the universe. He's an extremely manipulative entity that is controlling every aspect of his containment. He isn't even properly contained. He can walk through the very walls that we have around him.
Right.
Every security system we have in place is redundant against someone with his properties. This guy has leather furniture and a chandelier in his room, for goodness sake. I think he is controlling Dr. Beck. The guy's rotating staff. He's giving the guy everything that he wants. He's even covering up stuff that is unfavourable towards SCP-343. I think either him or 343 got rid of the other doctor. No one even remembers this doctor working with 343, and the files he made on 343 have all been corrupted beyond recognition.
Wow.
How high does this go, I wonder? Are the directors aware? Are the O5 Council even aware? Maybe they've known the whole time. Maybe they're just playing along to mitigate the risk factor.
Maybe he manipulated them.
I've no idea what this thing is, but it is definitely not a safe class entity.
That's how it's classified, though. Something that has those powers of manipulation, y'all. It's you gotta wonder, is he actually changing the reality around him, or would they consider a reality bender, you know, or is he just manipulating everyone and their perceptions of him to change the outcomes of what he wants? Because clearly they can't stop him. So is he doing it for an entertainment measure or what? You know, it's interesting. He's definitely a very, very cool SCP. I'm glad we covered him. And it was really, really cool seeing the comic strip like that from SCP Illustrated. Make sure to check him out, as his link is going to be right here, guys, and another couple videos that I reacted to from SCP Illustrated here. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.